Hey guys, it's Ricky here with DashCam Documentaries, and in front of me you see an amazing city hall for the city of Ontario. Now today we're not visiting Ontario, Canada, we're visiting Ontario, California, which is a historic town started by a couple of brothers from Ontario, Canada, and we're going to learn all about the history of this town and how it helped agriculture and aviation in Los Angeles. And as always, you're welcome to join me. Just get in the car and buckle up. Okay, making our way out, you can see a historic building in front of me that's now become the Chaffey Museum of Art. Now we're heading back towards the main avenue that we're going to learn about today. Now, the city of Ontario, California, was started in September of 1882 by George and William Chaffey. And these guys were from Ontario, Canada, and they purchased what was then known as the San Antonio lands, which was 6,218 acres of agricultural land. And they had four goals in mind when they started this town, and you can see some of the historic landmarks over here. Now, their four goals was to create a water company to have enough water for the agriculture, to have prohibition, so no alcohol at all, and they wanted a grand thoroughfare, which is where we are here. This is now called Euclid Boulevard, and this is the grand thoroughfare that they envisioned. And they also wanted to start a college that would be all about agriculture, and they definitely succeeded in that. So today we're going to see a lot of these historic buildings. Okay, we're going to take a look and a drive down this thoroughfare that the Chaffey brothers envisioned. Now, back in the day, a mule car on a narrow gauge railroad would have been traversing down this road, and that's the way it was from 1887 till about 1895 when an electric streetcar took over. And now, of course, it is a major thoroughfare still, but now it is for just cars. And this street back in the early 1900s would have been quite the area for commerce. The Chaffey brothers wanted to start businesses here and banks. They also had a theater. And here in the center, you can see a grandstand where shows and speeches would have been conducted. And a lot of department stores actually had their start here as well. Now you can see the facade of a lot of these buildings. Some of them holding up a little bit better than others, but definitely paying homage to the Chaffey brothers, who continued to build this town until they finally moved back, not to Ontario, Canada, but actually to Australia, where they found new places of business. Now, if you look over to the left, you're going to see a fountain coming up. Now, that fountain, when we get to it, was put there on purpose because shortly after establishing this area, they left the businesses here and the day-to-day to a man by the name of Charles Frankish, and he had the idea to build a fountain, and we're going to see that in just a minute. So this thoroughfare is actually 200 feet wide and 8 miles long. Now we're going to descend underneath a railroad track here. So Frankish did take over, and he wanted to build this fountain to symbolize also prosperity, and he continued to run the city of Ontario and made sure it was prosperous. And a lot of what was grown here in Ontario, California was citrus. That's what grows the best out here, and they were very successful in doing that. And not too far from here, a couple of plane enthusiasts by the name of Walter Waterman and Archie Mitchell started Latimer Field. And Latimer Field was a field that became part of an aviation town around here, and that's where World War II planes were test flown. Okay, we're gonna hit that fountain in just a few minutes. Okay, so we are coming back around the beautiful Euclid Boulevard, the main thoroughfare of Old Town, Ontario, California, and we are gonna see that fountain. But above me you can see a historic railroad track, some graffiti on it now, but of course back in the day they would have taken pride, and those railroad cars would have been shiny and new. So the fountain should be coming up now. I started to mention about the Latimer Field and its influence on World War II, and that's what really helped us design a lot of the airplanes that went up. So that now, as far as now, Ontario still is an aviation town, of course, in respect to the airport, which is not too far from here. Okay, so we are going to take one more nostalgic trip down Euclid Avenue and look for that fountain, and there it is. Let me get you guys around here one last time to take a look at that. And we have come back to where we started, which is the City Hall, and we're going to look at that fountain. But I wanted to also take one more trip around the City Hall and show you just how beautiful it is before we exit and see that fountain that Frankish helped design and build. Okay, there it is. You can see it, the Frankish fountain, built in 1886 as a symbol of prosperity. And the Chaffey brothers would turn on the fountain as the trains went nearby on the tracks we just saw, to show the potential buyers how adequate the water supply was here in Ontario, California. So the fountain still lives on. You can see people come here and they like to look at it and enjoy it. Still a proud example of Old Town, Ontario. And I'll come around here to take one more look at that fountain and give you guys a little bit better picture. And of course, you can visit this museum at any time. It is open to the public. And there behind the fountain are the rail cars that fountain lured into the city by showing off its prosperity. Okay, well, I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode of DashCam Documentaries. Please be sure to like this page and share it. And of course, subscribe to the channel. And I look forward to seeing you guys on the next adventure.